the country. Now, Hillary Clinton was asked about the war in Afghanistan back in the day, and what she said was brutally honest and correct. Let's watch.
To be fair, we had helped to create the problem we're now fighting.
How?
Because
American taxpayers who are desperate for a better life here in America, they need to hand over billions of dollars to the Israeli government and the IDF, and we need to shut the F up about—
Anna Kasparian had every reason to go after Hillary Clinton. And when she did, it wasn't pretty. Imagine a verbal boxing match where one fighter's in heels, the other is weighed down by decades of political baggage, and the referees just sitting back with popcorn. This wasn't a polite exchange. It was like setting the drapes on fire while the orchestra kept playing. By the time Anna Kasparian finished, even Hillary Clinton's emails wanted to crawl under the desk.
Republican lawmakers care about what Democratic voters think. Democratic voters aren't going to vote for them. They're voting for Democratic lawmakers who are totally abandoning them and doing nothing. Look, everyone understands that Republicans are in charge right now. Everyone understands that Donald Trump is the president and Republicans have a majority in Congress, in both the House and the Senate. We get it. But there is a clear distinction between Democrats and Republicans when the shoe is on the other foot and Republicans don't have.
Do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button. You'd be surprised how much it helps. Now about Hillary Clinton. In Washington, she's been around so long she's practically part of the architecture. You can still hear echoes of her voice from the 90s bouncing off Capitol marble. She's the political equivalent of a sitcom that started strong, had a few decent episodes, and now everyone's wondering why it hasn't been cancelled. Enter Anna Kasparian. Not here for a simple review. She burned the laugh track, torched the stage, and roasted the entire cast.
Failed Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton comes out and chides the Democratic voters into supporting her preferred candidate in the general election. Now, she did the chiding, she did the scolding.
Here's the core problem. Hillary Clinton built a reputation as a progressive champion, while keeping Wall Street on speed dial. That's not pragmatism, that's political sleight of hand. She can walk into a room full of millionaires, collect checks large enough to fund a small nation, and then pivot to a speech on fighting inequality, all without blinking. That's not leadership. That's performance art.
There's one tweak I want to make right off the bat, which is I don't see the Democratic Party really going out of its way to initiate this process of elevating transgender issues. What I have seen is an effort to respond to the right wing, turning the transgender community into its latest boogeymen and women in an attempt, essentially, to distract.
Anna Kasparian wasn't having it. And honestly, thank God. Hillary Clinton's no stranger to criticism. She's heard it from Republicans, Democrats, her own staff, maybe even a few annoyed baristas. But Anna Kasparian's takedown. Different. It wasn't some polite op-ed. It was a relentless truth bomb that probably made every Facebook uncle still blaming memes for 2016 spill his coffee.
So you kind of know where she's coming from. She says, crowds at Trump rallies called for my imprisonment more times than I can count. They shouted, guilty, guilty, like the religious zealots in Game of Thrones chanting shame, shame, while Cersei Lannister walked back to the Red Keep. Okay, so for those of you who don't watch Game of Thrones and have no idea who Cersei Lannister is, she's best known for being the ruthless, power-hungry villainess who is responsible for the deaths of thousands just so she can sit on the Iron Throne. Wow.
Not the comparison you want.
Let's remember, this is a candidate who lost to Donald Trump. Let that sink in. A man whose campaign was basically a reality show starring chaos. And Hillary Clinton still blew it. Her slogan might as well have been, well, we tried. And every time the subject comes up, the excuses pile on. Sexism, media bias, Russia, bad Wi-Fi in Wisconsin. Everything but, I messed up.
the people we're fighting today, we were supporting in the fight against the Soviets.
Anna Kasparian dug deeper, exposing Hillary Clinton's real operating system. Business-friendly centrism dressed as pragmatism. For decades, politicians have sold half measures as progress while the rich got richer and the rest sank under medical debt. Hillary Clinton mastered that game. Her foreign policy reads like a defense contractor's brochure. Iraq, Libya, Syria. She could spike Lockheed Martin stock just by finishing a sentence.
Clinton's book is getting a lot of attention because she has written some pretty insane things in that book. Now, one of the more insane things that was brought to light by, unfortunately, a Breitbart reporter was a portion of her book where she compares herself to Cersei Lannister from...
And Anna Kasparian didn't blink. She hit the hypocrisy square on. Hillary Clinton talks democracy while backing strategies that destabilize entire regions. That's like claiming you love animals while running a slaughterhouse. She even dragged the Clinton Foundation, calling its donor list what it really looked like: a billionaire VIP club disguised as charity. Those donations weren't altruistic. They were strategic investments.
And so what I see happening is they attack the transgender community, and Democrats try to intervene and, in some sense, virtue signal that they're different from Republicans in that regard. But also, use that kind of messaging to campaign against Republicans and like the hatred they put out there.
Anna Kasparian broke it down so clearly there was no room for spin. The Clinton Foundation wasn't a charity. It was a political concierge service. No vote required. Just a check with enough zeros to give a math teacher nightmares. In return, access, influence, favors. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton smiled for the cameras, preaching transparency while the cash register rang in the background. You'd need a forensic lab to separate corporate lobbying from charity.
I have a hard time not disliking Laura Bryant, right? So it's not like I'm reading some headlines and I'm like, hey, I want to engage in some political business.
Anna Kasparian didn't just point out hypocrisy. She ripped the mask off. She showed how democracy had turned into a luxury item for the wealthy. When participation comes with a price tag, that's not a government. It's an auction. And the auctioneer, wearing a pantsuit. That's why Anna Kasparian's critique hit like a lightning bolt. It exposed the machine behind the illusion.
And so what I appreciated about that exchange wasn't that I agree with what the United States did to defeat the Soviets in Afghanistan, but I think that that's a perfect example of how the United States and its foreign policy goes in and essentially just creates more problems through its intervention.
Her rant nailed Hillary Clinton's most annoying trait: endless rebranding. Stateswoman, feminist icon, almost president. Different costumes, same flaws. Her career mirrors everything broken in the Democratic elite. Hawkish foreign policy, cozy ties with corporations, neglect of working-class voters, and the delusion that resumes win elections, even when the policies are out of touch.
So yes, that was the one scene where you felt slight sympathy for Cersei Lannister as she walked, and they said,
Shame. Shame.
Anna Kasparian didn't just poke holes. She shredded the myth like a classified file on Hillary Clinton's email server. She called out the Democratic habit of treating any critique of Hillary Clinton as an attack on progress itself. That's like saying if you criticize a CEO, you must hate capitalism. No, you're just pointing out the emperor's pantsuit is see-through. After 2016, Hillary Clinton seemed more interested in a global excuse tour than real reflection, like a chef who burns dinner and then spends the night lecturing everyone about seasoning.
Well, Mrs. Clinton said that a Democratic presidential candidate was the favorite of the Russians, and an aide later confirmed the reference was to Miss Gabbard. Mrs. Clinton's remark about the grooming of a third-party candidate in the 2020 race was in response to a question about the Republicans' strategy, not about Russian intervention.
do you understand what's happening here? This is one of the most pathetic things I've...
Anna Kasparian drove home another point. Hillary Clinton as a progressive trailblazer? Total mirage. Every time genuine progressives rise, the Clinton orbit trots out the electability card, and the media runs with it. Hillary Clinton pops up on cable news, delivers scripted talking points, then disappears. Anna Kasparian's takedown wasn't just about Hillary Clinton. It was about a system that shields her, treating criticism as betrayal. That's political blackmail, and it's kept Democrats stuck for decades.
Politicians love to exploit MLK Day to push whatever agenda they might have. Either that or they just put out a simple tweet to at least make it seem like they're honoring the legacy of
Anna Kasparian painted Hillary Clinton exactly as she is. A politician molded by the system, tied to elites, blind to change. Reactions split. Some cheered, some cringed. But nobody could deny Anna Kasparian landed punches that hurt.
The fact that they shoot at people as they're waiting in line for humanitarian aid. Dozens of people get shot and killed literally every single day, as they're waiting for food. No, I'm not gonna let you filibuster, bitch. I'm not gonna let you filibuster. I'm not gonna let you filibuster. You guys are totally okay with IDF soldiers shooting and killing desperate people waiting for humanitarian aid. You're okay with that. I find it so unbelievably evil. Unbelievably evil. It shocks my conscience and my soul that people as evil as this exist in this.
Hillary Clinton's legacy demands real scrutiny, and Anna Kasparian delivered it with surgical precision. Her roast didn't just criticize, it signaled the end of untouchable political royalty. Younger voters don't care about resumes, they want results. Criticism isn't betrayal anymore, it's accountability. Hillary Clinton should see Anna Kasparian's fire for what it was: rare, unfiltered honesty in a political world addicted to spin.